Imagine me being famous and being on TV and somebody says, "Well, you said all these negative things about ghetto people. You said all these negative things about ghetto people online. What you gonna do about that?" So I'm supposed to sit here and apologize to you for your behavior? You know that y'all are not professional. One of you stalked me on Facebook and left pornography on my Facebook page, and Facebook didn't do anything about it. So you're gonna sit here and complain that I complained about you? Out of all the different women in America, there's only one group of women in America that you're not allowed to criticize because everything they do is okay. And I'm not talking about white women. White women aren't afraid of the word bitch. They call each other bitch. Okay? But there's one group of women in America who you can't say anything about them because they're perfect. And if you're a famous black man and you criticize them, next time they get you on TV, well, it says here that you said this about these women. And? Well, what are you going to do? You want me to apologize? Let me explain to you how companies work. Bond Comics is a company that Bond owns. Bond owns Bond Comics. You can kick rocks. You can kick rocks because if you don't support a company, let me make it clearer. Let's say you don't like Disney. Okay? Let's say you don't like Disney. You never watched Star Wars. You never watched Steamboat. You don't like Steamboat Willie. You never watched anything that Disney has put out. And you sit there and say, well, I don't like how Disney does things and Disney needs to apologize to me. You know what Disney needs to say to you? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Because they could go and look. Disney can go and look. Go see if so-and-so had an account with us. And they look through all their databases and they say, oh, this person don't have an account with us. Disney can look it up. Bond Comics has an account with Disney. Bond Comics has an account with Disney. In fact, I've defended Disney when people say, oh, they ain't got shit on there. That's like the people that say, they ain't got shit on Netflix. They got a lot of shit on Netflix. They got a lot of shit on Disney. Disney just bought Hulu, but I'm going on a tangent. Let me go back to myself. So I'm famous, and I go on TV, and these women, they sit up there, well, it says here that you said this about these women. It's like, but they were ghetto as hell at my job. And they did stalk me on Facebook and make comments about the women that follow me. They made comments, criticize me for the women who follow me. I got criticized for white people going to Comic-Con. No, I'm not bullshitting. A certain type of woman criticized me for white people going to Comic-Con. It's my fault that there's white people at Comic-Con. Oh, you a sellout. You a sellout because you want to go to that convention with those white people. It's like, why is it okay for white people to go to the Comic-Con, but I can't go? Why aren't the white people sellouts for going to Comic-Con or Anime Central for going there when I'm there? Why is everything everything that white people do is my fault? So I'm famous. I'm on a talk show. These types of women, they're on there talking about, you said this about us. What you got to say what you going to say about that? How you going to apologize? I am going to apologize by moving my company to Australia. I'm going to move my company to Australia. And from now on, I'm doing Rumiko Takahashi parodies. See, I'm an English major. I wrote a screenplay synopsis for a Japanimation movie where I parodied 10 anime movies. And I drew the characters and put up the website and everything. There's a certain thing called sticking to the context and sticking to the motif and the theme of your screenplay. Y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all didn't go to college. Okay, the people that criticize me, they didn't go to college. So what I'm gonna say is this: from now on, I'll just do anime parody. You know why? Because there was nobody yelling at the creator of Inuyasha. There was nobody yelling at the director of Paprika. There was nobody yelling at the creator of One Piece talking about, why didn't you put some black women in there? Where the black women at? You a sellout. You didn't put no black women in there. They don't have to hear that shit. I don't know not one white man in the comic book industry. Fuck it. I don't know not one of the 7 founders of Image Comics who has had a black woman yell at them about their comic book. Why didn't you make Witchblade black? Why didn't you make Witchblade black? They didn't hear that. Why didn't you make Invincible's girlfriend black? They didn't hear that. They not. I'm gonna tell you something. Light skin writers. Yeah, that means whites and Asians and Latinos. Those men are not held to the standard that ghetto people try to hold me to. But like I said, my response to you is, if you don't like what I say, I'll move the company to Australia. Y'all all love Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine stars an Australian and a Canadian. You Americans that hate me so much, you're so important that I can make a movie starring an Australian and a Canadian, and it'll make $1 billion. But you don't like me, remember? So when I do my movie filmed in Australia and New Zealand and Japan, you don't have to go see it. You don't have to go see it, and you sure as fuck won't be in it. Anybody that says anything negative about me, you just won't be in the movie. What the fuck are you talking about? You just publishing books. Batman was a book. The Addams Family was a comic book. That blows my mind. The Addams Family was a comic book. Okay, so you don't like me? You got to remember, Bond Comics is named after me. I'm Bond. You don't like me, so you don't need to be in my movies. You don't want to be cast in my movies. You don't want to be on my TV shows. You don't, you think you just going to sit there, well, you said this about somebody. And I did. What about it? And I was right. Read the post. But you're not going to see no white director. Let me put it like this. You're not going to see a racist white man who owns at least one company get punked by some poor minority person talking shit to them. For some reason, ghetto people feel like they're above criticism. You don't have to like me. White people who read comic books like me. Me and white dudes, we talk about comic books all the time. We've been talking about Deadpool before Deadpool got made into a movie. We were talking about the X-Men. When I first went to college, there was one dude who was friends with my roommate. All we talked about was goddamn X-Men. We speak the same language. All my white friends that like Star Trek, we speak the same language. You are trying to say that I'm black and you're black, therefore, no, there ain't no therefore. If you're not a part of fandom, we don't have nothing to talk about. Because you can't sit there and talk about just being black. I did that at Hampton University. My first year in college, that was a black school. We talked about blackness and being black. We talked about that, and then we went and played Gamma World. We went and played Gamma World. We watched goddamn Batman the animated series. Everybody who was a dude who was black at Hampton watched Batman the animated series. Then everybody went to dinner, came back, everybody watched Martin. We watched Batman, we went to dinner, we came back and watched Martin at a black college. Okay? So if you have a problem with me or anyone else, as far as what they said, when you confront that person, don't be surprised when they say, okay, well, fuck it. I just moved my company to Japan. You guys don't like me here. I will move my company to Japan or Australia. Duck Girl was born in Barbie. She was sent to Lugnag. Lugnag, as you know, Lugnag is the longest loyalist ally of Japan. So she became the ruler of Lugnag. And Miss Platypus is from Australia. So where are y'all in the equation? Y'all talking all kind of shit like I gotta apologize to you, but y'all ain't even in the movie. I have had this written for the past 15, 20 years. Duck Girl grows up in Lugnag. She goes to Japan. Then she goes to Australia. Probably if we do a live action Duck Girl show, she and her roommate, Anamana Trim, they'll live in Australia. So the people over here in America that want everything to be about them, that doesn't make sense. You don't live in Australia. And there are minorities from all over the world in Australia. So there will be black people on my show, but they will be like real black people. They'll be like Wakanda black people, not American black people. So you won't even be able to say, oh, that nigga, he don't have no black people. Yeah. Iron Megan is from Madagascar, honey. Iron Megan is from Madagascar, honey. You didn't read my book. You didn't read my book. There's black people. Dragon Lord is Jamaican. Duck Girl dates Dragon Lord. He's like Jamaican. I say Jamaican because he ain't really from Jamaica. He's from like Bella Zoreno. But had you read my books, you would know that. It's like people, he's a sellout. It's like, yeah, but on the Chinese Zodiac, there's like a black guy. And then like on the Elementals, there's a black girl, and they're in the movie trilogy. They're like Iron Megan and Dragon Lord should be like in the second movie in the Duck Girl movie trilogy. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. Come at me if you want to. You don't know how Virgos think. You think everything is either or. Well, he's gonna apologize to us or he's gonna attack us. No, I'll just move my company to Australia, where there are no ghetto people.